Let's begin. Today is the 8th day of the second month, in the 9th year of Channel Guk, March 20, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 천진 참부모님께 경배. 바로 Let us recite 가정맹세.
가정맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
For the opening prayer, may I call on our sister Jane Buyayo.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Please join me in my prayer. 사랑하시는 하늘 부모님, 천진 참 부모님, 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. Our most beloved heavenly parents and victorious true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, we are truly grateful once again for this great morning ahead of us, coming together as one nation to attend you. Dear Heavenly Parents, we pray that we could receive your words today sincerely, embodying it and at the same time manifesting it, Heavenly Parents. Dear Heavenly Parents, as we are here together as one family nation, we pray for every single one of us, especially for those continuously doing their best in the front line and even in whatever fields. We pray for their protection and blessing, and that we could continuously unite with you in heart and mind, Heavenly Parents. Yes, so Heavenly Parents and true parents, we pray that, we could also unite, especially with our beloved true mother who is continuously emphasizing, her yearning for all the billions of people of the world as her children, and of course as our brothers and sisters, Heavenly Parents. So, Heavenly Parents, may today this morning be an example of how we can live as citizens of Chanalgo, and really living proudly in this golden age, marching with Hyojong in our hearts. So once again, Heavenly Parents and True Parents, 감사합니다, 사랑합니다. Sincerely offer this in our names. 준이가 냉정히 보여야 봤으면 좋겠고, 아주.
Aju. Let us now all offer our individual prayers. Aju. Good morning once again, brothers and sisters. For those who are standing, you may now take your seats. And please don't forget to greet the person next to you. Good morning. So to read to us the Hundok reading for this morning, may I call on our sister Wonju Maglangit.
Good morning to our leaders, elders, and brothers and sisters. Our reading for today is from the book True Mother's Autobiography, Mother of Peace. Chapter 6, Creating the Road to One World. The chill of the cold winter wind we felt as we disembarked at Pyongyang Sunan Airport dissipated as we received the embraces of my husband's relatives. Of course, they all were grandmothers and grandfathers. They grabbed hold of our hands and wept. A waterfall of tears surged in my heart, and I'm sure my husband's as well, but I bit my lip and held them back. We had committed ourselves to this venture for the sake of Heavenly Parent and the world, not for the personal happiness of our relatives or ourselves. There would be another trip for that, we assured each other, casting our breath on the waters. We settled in at the Pony Guest Hall, and the next day, in accord with our lifelong tradition, we arose early in the morning and prayed. If there were surveillance cameras in our room, all those prayers crying out for the unification of the Korean peninsula were recorded. That day and the next, we were given a tour of Pyongyang. Our meeting with a group of major North Korean government leaders at the Mansudae Assembly Hall on the third day of our stay has become a legend in North Korea. My husband and I knew that to speak for God and against the government's Juche ideology in North Korea could be grounds for execution, but we were resolved to risk death for the sake of peace and unification. Let it go on record. Standing in the heart of North Korea, Father Moon denounced Juche thought and the Juche kingdom. He said loudly and clearly, the unification of North and South Korea cannot come based on Chairman Kim Il Sung's Juche thought. North and South Korea can be unified peacefully, and Korea can become the nation that can lead the whole world only through the God-centered ideology and head-wing thought of unificationism. Furthermore, he refuted their propagandist posture that the Korean War started with the South invading the North. By the end of his speech, Father Moon admonished them, how can you call yourself leaders? You cannot even control your own sex organs. The North Koreans were taken entirely by surprise. Their security personnel were anticipating the signal to rush in with guns drawn. Even though they to some degree knew that Father Moon was planning to say, our members accompanying us broke out in cold sweat. I, I had toured the whole world with my husband, and we had met the leaders of many nations, but nowhere did we have to maintain courageous determination and serious resolve comparable to that day in Pyongyang. Father Moon's speech went far past the schedule for lunch, and everyone ate at separate tables in dead silence. Many thought that the chances of meeting Chairman Kim had just evaporated. My husband said it didn't matter. He had said what he came to say. On the sixth day, Chairman Kim sent two helicopters to transport us to Cheongju, Father Moon's hometown. As Chairman Kim had instructed, highway crews had newly paved the little road to my husband's boyhood home, set up dignified tombstones, and planted turf at the graves of his parents. They even had painted and decorated the house where Father Moon was born and spread sand on the earthen floor and yard. We visited his parents' tombs and offered flowers. I gazed at the sky in the direction of Anju, my hometown, 18 miles away. Is the old house that embraced me so snugly still standing there? Is corn growing in the backyard field these days? Where is my maternal grandfather's grave? I was curious about everything, but I held it inside. We had come to meet with Chairman Kim Il sung on behalf of our Heavenly Parent and to shape the future of our homeland. We had come for the sake of the nation and the world. I could not entertain my personal feelings in light of that historic summons. I was there so that the day would come when all Koreans and all peoples would be free to visit their hometowns. It was on the seventh day that we finally met Chairman Kim. As we entered the chairman's white stone official residence in Majon, Hamgyeongnam province, he was waiting for us. Without regard to protocol, my husband greeted Chairman Kim as if they were old friends, and Chairman Kim reciprocated, and we all took a deep breath as the two joyfully embraced each other. Chairman Kim, seeing me in a traditional Korean dress, politely gave his welcome. The first order of business was lunch, and while we ate, we began our conversation by unreservedly sharing small talk about such things as hunting and fishing. Gradually, Father Moon and I introduced our current activities, including the World Culture and Sports Festival planned for the coming August. Hearing that it would include a blessing ceremony for 30,000 couples from around the world, Chairman Kim offered the Myeongsa-simni Beach in North Korea's beautiful Wonsan district, where the Sweat Prayer is beautiful, as its venue. He also promised to open the port of Wonsan to transport all the couples to that site. Then all of a sudden, there were so many things to talk about. The conversation took on an energy of its own, and continued far beyond its scheduled closure. My husband embraced his enemy, whom he had been preparing for decades to meet, with deep and intense love. Chairman Kim was impressed by our sincerity and accepted our proposals in a bright manner throughout the meeting. Aju.
Aju. Thank you so much to our sister Wonjo. Now to share to us the 10 points of gratitude, may I welcome our sister Myra Silong. Let's all give her a virtual applause.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. So let me share the 10 points of gratitude I had this week. Okay, first point, I'm grateful to Heavenly Parents and true parents for listening to my prayers and answering those questions through Hunduki books, through my parents' words, and through my dream. Number two, I'm really grateful to Heavenly Parents for giving me various responsibilities in order for me to develop internally and externally. Number three, I am grateful that I was given a chance to offer a national condition together with my fellow blessed families, blessed children, and together with the members for the success of the Providence. Number four, I'm grateful to my father for replying to my message and giving me advices about life and family relationship despite his busy schedule. Number five, I'm grateful to my mother who answers my questions in details regarding the divine principle. Number six, I'm grateful to our IAYSP Antipolo officers for leading the organizations and working for the Providence by sacrificing their time. Number seven, I'm really grateful to our department head officers in Antipolo for doing their best and taking initiative to lead the monthly online Hundoke. Number eight, I'm grateful to my fellow NBCC members for excitingly planning and seriously thinking for the education of the blessed children here in the Philippines. Number nine, I'm grateful to our Sunday school teachers for educating the young children in National Training Center. And lastly, number 10, I'm grateful to my professors for teaching us the lessons in details and with passion to help us to become aspiring physical therapists. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, our sister Myra, for sharing your 10 points of gratitude, especially during this week. Now, to render us with a wonderful song, I would like to call on this recorded video song, our brother Jundo Teves with his original composition. He composed this song when the coronavirus pandemic started. So let's all give a virtual applause for our brother Jundo Teves.
Look at now we're living in. The venom reeks again. This kid has stopped to struggling. How to get out of predicaments. We're searching for the way we're moving in. Oh God, it's our destiny. We need a land that will save me. Our loving heart starts to build again. We're searching for the way that we're moving in. Oh God, it's our destiny. We need a land that will save me. Our loving heart heart starts to beat again. A loving heart starts to beat again. A loving heart starts to beat again. Baby, look at now where we're living in. Chewing cage, just start to live. A dead heart start to fear again. I'm feeling on my core and delirious. Feeling all lost and baby all gone. Negativity and then you maybe the storm is inside your head, yeah. Feeling all lost and baby all gone. Negativity and then you done. Maybe this big definitely ends, yeah. We're searching for the way that we're moving in. Oh God, what's our destiny? We need a light that will save me. A longing heart starts to build again. We're searching for the way we're moving in. Oh God, what's our destiny? We need a light that will save me. A longing heart starts to build again. A longing heart starts to build again. Driven by pain, but your faith grows strong. The possibilities is the leading road. A longing heart starts to build again. A longing heart starts to build again.
Yes, thank you so much to our brother Jundo. That's just one of the songs that he has been writing, and he's very passionate about his music. So hopefully he could put out more of his music for our other brothers and sisters to listen. I hope he was able to tug your heartstrings this morning. So to give us at this moment the internal guidance and the words of God to each and every one of us this morning, may I welcome our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Halog, with a virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much, our brother Victor. Good morning to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning to all our beloved Blessed Central families, brothers and sisters. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, to all our leaders. Good morning po. Ohayo gozaimasu. Annyeonghaseyo. Thank you very much to our second generation NBCC, headed by Kuya Victor. Thank you so much to our brother Jindo for that very inspiring and wonderful song. Also to Myra, thank you for sharing your 10 points of appreciation. Also Wonju, thank you for reading. Thank you very much to all our second generation. So today I would like to share with you So good morning again to all our leaders and brothers and sisters. So today we are already like series 49 already of our National Handbook. Thank you so much for joining every day. This morning I would like to share with you the topic entitled Decision. And so last time we learned from Sir Julius that every day we are making like 34,000 decisions in our life. Because when you realize even small things, actually what to do, so really thousands of decisions we are making each day in our life. So how really important to make the proper decision. True Father said, I am the crossing point of good and evil. So whether we want to do good or evil, it's really up to us. We are the ones, whatever we are having now in our life, it's all because of the decision we made, right? So what is our situation now? What is our feeling? So everything is actually depends on us, on the decision that we made prior to our situation now, right? That's why even though the environment we are living in, can influence us, many things can influence us, right? But actually, it's really us who made the decision why we are here now, why my situation is like this, why my feeling is like this now. So it's really up to us. Even Father said, doing good things or evil things, it's really up to us. There is one thing before I learned, there is one thing that Satan cannot do. And there's also one thing that God cannot do. Absolutely, God cannot do evil things, right? And then Satan also absolutely cannot do good things. But our human beings is in the midway position. So actually, we can do both things. But of course, we should do only good things. But human beings is in the midway, and then the human being is the ones making decision whether they will do good or they will do evil things. So we are the ones making decision each day. I need to connect my computer. So true Father said we live in a world of good and evil. So because of the fall of our first human ancestors, then human beings already stand in the midway position. We are living in this world of good and evil. Father said, so we live in a world where good and evil confront each other. Good and evil each pulls our divided mind and body. Evil pulls us toward evil, and good pulls us toward good. Human beings stand midway between these two opposing forces. They become good or evil depending on which way they travel from the center line. You are wandering back and forth across this line. So this is the situation of human beings. So Father said, it depends on which way we travel from the center line. So like for instance, in the right side is the side of good, and then on the left side is the side of evil. So where we decide, to go from the center line, right? So that's why we have to make the right decision, human beings, since we are living in this world, and then we are standing on the middle, and then we are, being pulled back and forth, right? So we are wandering, Father said, we are wandering back and forth across this line. Like this morning we do good, and then afternoon sometimes we do not good things, evil things. So human beings are wandering back and forth from the center line. This is the situation of human beings because of the fall. We are always being pulled back, right? Today I decided to do this. I will strive to become better than yesterday, but along the way there are difficulties, and then evil is continuously trying to pull us. This is the world we are living in, right? Like what Father said, that Satan has, like strings or like spider web connected to us. So anytime Satan, can pull us. That's why we are traveling back and forth from the center line. Sometimes we want to do good, or yeah, sometimes our evil mind again work, and then we do opposite things. This is the situation. It's really, really terrible situation of human beings because of the fall. That's why it's every day. It's really important for us to learn and really receive guidance from true parents, so that we can have more strength to overcome when Satan try to influence us, our environment, right, try to influence us if we are weak, right? And then if things are not clear to us, then not easy to, it's very easy to give in and go the opposite way. So this is the danger of human beings, right? That's why it's really important having the parents and true parents' words every day, really guiding us so that we can be able to truly fulfill, and really do good things in our everyday life and really develop ourselves, and really one day we can only stand on the side of goodness, on the side of heavenly parent. Father said, human beings stand in the midway position. If the first human ancestors had not fallen, but had reached perfection and become one in heart with God, then they would have lived relating only with God. However, due to their fall, they joined in a kingship of blood with Satan, which compelled them to deal with him as well. So if only human beings, Adam and Eve, reached perfection, Father said, then they become one in heart with the Heavenly Parent. Then they would have lived relating only with God. So if the fall didn't happen, only human beings will be dealing directly with Heavenly Parent. Then actually we should be living now in the kingdom of heaven if Adam and Eve didn't fall, right? And human beings naturally just relating only with Heavenly Parent. But because of the fall, however, Father said, due to the fall, they joined in a kingship of blood with Satan, which compelled them to deal with him as well. So because of the fall, also we stand in the midway position, and then not only dealing with God but also with Satan. So they found themselves in the midway position, a position between God and Satan, where they were relating with both. As a consequence, all their descendants are also in the midway position. So starting from our first human ancestors who committed the fall. So all of us, all the descendants, we stand in the same position, in the midway position, where both God and Satan relates with us. That's why sometimes we do good, sometimes we do evil things. So this is the tragedy that became, the result of the fall of our first human ancestors. So now, what is the way to separate from Satan? Father said, how does God separate Satan from fallen people who stand in the midway position? Satan relates with them on the basis of his connection with them through lineage. Therefore, until people make a condition through which God can claim them as his own, there is no way God can restore them to the heavenly side. On the other hand, Satan acknowledges that God is the creator of human beings. Unless Satan finds some condition through which he can attack a fallen person, he also cannot arbitrarily claim him for his side. Therefore, a fallen person will go to God's side if he makes good conditions, and to Satan's side if he makes evil conditions. That's why it's really important. So even though we are standing in the midway position, that both Satan and God can relate with us, but there is also a way where really Satan cannot influence us. It depends on the conditions we are making in our everyday life, right? This time it's very really dangerous now, our time. Of course, all the advancement that we are experiencing now, actually this is a road towards channel book. Kingdom of heaven is a place, everything is advanced, more advanced. Really, when Father is talking about kingdom of heaven, we cannot imagine. It's beyond the situation we are now, right? So meaning really this advancement is towards living in the kingdom of heaven. But because of this danger, because of these things also that we are experiencing, it became dangerous for us, especially for young people, because still we are living in this kind of world, right? So many things, many conditions that young people or all of us can do, that Satan might continue to relate with us. Like the use of the internet now, the gadgets that we have. So we can see many unnecessary things there. And then these things, if we don't have self-control, if we are lacking of guidance of our parents, of our elders, then this became condition for Satan to use so that Satan can attack us, right? So that's why Father is saying here, a fallen person will go to God's side if he makes good conditions, and to Satan's side if he makes evil conditions. That's why we are doing continuously conditions in the centers. Our leaders is always advising us, you need to do conditions, you need to offer condition. So through this condition, this is the way for God to relate with us. If we continue to do good conditions, offer conditions, and then do good things to others, we live for the sake of others, even small things. These are the conditions that God can relate with us, right? And then also, so if we do good conditions, actually, Father is saying here, Satan also cannot do anything. Satan cannot do anything. Satan acknowledges that God is the creator of human beings. Unless Satan finds some condition through which he can attack a fallen person, he also cannot arbitrarily claim him for his side. So this is important. Unless Satan finds some condition, Father said, through which he can attack a fallen person, he also cannot arbitrarily claim him for his side. So it's really important the things that we are doing in our daily life. So this can become, the way for Satan to attack us. That's why if we are always aware, and then we always listen from the guidance of our leaders, our elders, especially our parents for young generation, our second generation. If always we follow the guidance of our parents, for sure, there will be no condition for Satan to attack us, right? Then God can protect us. That's why Satan also cannot do anything if we are doing the right and proper condition. Aju? So, especially, for the first generation, Satan relates with them on the basis of his connection with them through lineage. Especially for the first generation, that's why it's really not easy to come out, completely, because Satan is inside us through our blood lineage. That's why this blood lineage issue can only be solved through the blessing, right? Through the blessing. But even though we are blessed, it's still, a lot of influence from our ancestors, from the environment around us. That's why even though we don't have any more, already we are blessed, even though we are second generation, how Satan can still, attack if we make conditions on his side. If we make evil conditions, this is where Satan attacks. That's why it's important what we are doing. We have to decide clearly every day, what should I do? I need to really absolutely follow my parents, especially for young brothers and sisters, right? For second generation. Our parents, they are, the ones that will really guide us so that we can avoid doing unnecessary conditions where Satan can attack us. Aju? That's why even though we are living in this state, if we live well, right? If we do well and only doing the conditions on the side of God, Satan cannot do anything. Aju? This is what's good in this time where we are living in, especially because of our true parents. True parents came and taught us everything. Aju? So Father said, what is the path of goodness? So how do we cross over the dividing line between good and evil? Good abides where we live for others, and evil abides where we live centered on ourselves. If we look within, our original mind always tries to lead us towards good thought and a good direction. It says, serve others, have an affectionate heart for others, sacrifice for others, live for others. Such is the path of goodness. So from time to time, when we started to, learn the divine principle, and then also we listen from the guidance of our leaders and then from our parents. So what are they always telling us? Di ba tayo nga minsan when we were young, anong laging sinasabi ng mga magulang natin? Minsan naririndi na tayo. Lagi na lang sinasabi. But actually, our original mind actually is the one, first and foremost, our conscience always, tries to lead us towards good thought and good direction, always telling us, serve others, have affectionate heart for others, sacrifice for others, live for others. Such is the path of goodness. That's why our original mind that is built in us, right? Always telling us to do good, to serve others, right? But, because of this situation we are living in, also, as, our original mind also telling us this, as our parents, our leaders is guiding us, also, many evil forces are coming to us, also telling us many things. Do this, do that, do, from the internet, from our gadgets, from our cell phone, from our computer. Also the same way, many things coming from different directions that is destroying our focus, right? This is the situation of us now, fallen human beings. That's why it's not really easy to be good, to become a good person. It's really not easy. This should be really our focus. We need to give all our entire power and energy, right? And then this is the only way. If our determination is not enough, then our desire of doing good will be defeated of the influence of evil. This is the reality. This is the reality. That's why even St. Paul said, right? Kaya nga sa Pilipino rin, meron tayong kanta. We are singing, gusto kong bumait pero di ko magawa. So what is the reality? To be good, it's not easy. To become a good person, it's really not easy because of the influence. Right? That's why if we really wanted to, goodness, really, we need to really make all our energy and really focus everything that we can in order for us to become a good person. It's really not easy. This is the real situation. Aju? Father said, we are the dividing line between heaven and hell. If you act as your body desires, you are connected to hell. On the other hand, if you act as your mind wishes, you are connected to the kingdom of heaven. You alone are the dividing line between the kingdom of heaven and hell. So that's why Father is always telling us, our physical body, this is the ones being used by Satan. Father said, this is Satan's dance floor, our physical body. That's why if we act as our body desires, Father said, then we are connected to hell. On the other hand, if you act as your mind wishes, you are connected to the kingdom of heaven. That's why, that's why we need to train our body. That's why Father is always telling us, we need to control our physical desires. If we just live in accordance to our physical desires, then we are connected to hell. Then we always, follow Satan. That's why we have to strengthen our original mind and then, weaken our physical body, our desires. We have to really, follow this vertical line, our mind over our body. This is the reality. That's why sometimes we feel, our body very strong, very difficult to overcome our sleeping desire, our eating desire, and then sexual desire, all these desires that really is being used by Satan. Desires are not bad, right? But if it becomes excessive, then it becomes bad. It's natural. Human beings, we want to eat, we want to sleep. It's natural. But if it became the subject in our life, then it becomes evil. Satan is using this completely to control us. Then we lose even our freedom. We lose our freedom because we are being controlled by Satan. That's why Father is telling here, right? So if you act as your body desires, you are connected to hell. And then on the other hand, if you act as your mind wishes, centering on our original mind, you are connected to the kingdom of heaven. So we alone, Father said, are the dividing line. So we can decide, we can make decision what we really wanted. We can choose, right? We want to go to kingdom of heaven or to hell. We can decide. It's not God. It's not true parents. It's not even our own parents will decide for us, right? It's really us. We have to really make the decision on our own. Aju? True Father said, live your life based on spiritual power. Do you know what spiritual food is? Even when you are hungry, if you have to choose between spiritual food and physical food, you should feel that the spiritual food is tastier than physical food. Then you can survive and stand on the side of God. Living your life based on spiritual power should be much more appetizing than the taste of life lived with physical power. So Father is telling us here that we need to live our life based on spiritual power. Father is saying that spiritual food should be more appetizing for us than physical food. So like now we are reading Father's words, we are learning, we are doing hunduke. So this is like we are feeding our spirit self. We are like eating now spiritual food. So Father is saying, that's why, we remember how much Father spent time doing hunduke. I could experience only, of course, some of our elders, maybe they experience very long hunduke with True Father. For me, I just experienced, I think, 5 to 1 p.m. Just around, 8 hours. I experienced, Father, without, breakfast, without lunch. This is maybe the longest, but our leaders here, our elders, maybe you have experienced very long time. So why through Father when he started to, to teach about God's words? So Father is actually gaining so much power and energy as he is, reading, as he is studying himself, even his words. Sometimes Father, he is the one already, but still, because this really come directly from Heavenly Parent. So through, reading, we gain strength, right? We gain power. Sometimes we don't feel hungry. If we really focus and we really absorb everything, and our spirit self really absorb everything. Sometimes we became sleepy reading kapag matagal na, right? That's why kapag nawala yung focus ng mind natin, and then our physical body overpower our spirit body. What happens? Actually, we cannot absorb things. Kaya minsan naboboring tayo pag nagbabasa tayo, nakakaantok pag mahaba, right? So our physical body is yung strength niya is stronger, right? That's why if we need to focus. And then actually if we really focus studying Father's words, for sure we gain strength so much. That's why Father is saying here, we need to live our life based on spiritual power. That's why we have to really overcome our physical body. The more we do hunduke, the more we read Father's words, the more we study, the more actually we should gain strength. Sabi nga ni Father dito, comparing spiritual food than physical food, sabi niya, spiritual food should be more appetizing than the taste of, the physical food. And then living your life based on spiritual power should be much more appetizing, sabi ni Father dito, than the taste of the life lived with physical power. That's why what is the subject in us? Since we were created as a spirit with a body, the subject in us is our spirit, right? With the body. Kaya also, what should be more important to us more than anything else should be God's words. God's words. Kaya nga, hunduke, we are starting each day with hunduke, reading through parents' words more than anything else, right? Should be spiritual food. Reading Father's words, God's words. This should be the priority. This is the thing that was lost in the Garden of Eden. This was the thing that was lost by God. They lost God's words. Kaya mga tao ngayon, they don't want to go to church. They don't want to read the Bible. They don't want to read because it was lost. Right? And then for people, it is more appetizing is what? The physical food. Having only physical power. That's why Father now is telling us we need to really live our life based on spiritual power. And then it should be more appetizing, should be spiritual power that as we gain through God's words. Aju? So really, this is really important. That's why the more we read, the more we study, the more we should be, engaged, and then the more it motivates us and empower us. Aju? That's why this is really, really important in our life, especially to overcome, many situations that we are experiencing in our life. If we really make priority, give priority to God's words, and then everything can be given to us. We can overcome any situation. Aju? True Father said, make decision in accordance with God's will. Looking back at my youth, Father said, I remember how serious I was. I was at the point of deciding what to do with the rest of my life. At that crossroad, I knew that I should not let humanistic concerns determine my decision. Instead, I concluded that I had to make my decision in accordance with God's will. So even Father's saying here, looking back when he was young, he remembered how serious he was. He was at the point of deciding what to do with the rest of my life. So many of us now, our young brothers and sisters, you are at this point also, what you really want to do, you are deciding. Right? You are now in this very crucial point of your life. What to do at the rest of your life. Right? Father said, at that crossroad, I knew that I should not let humanistic concerns determine my decision. Instead, I concluded that I had to make my decision in accordance with God's will. So it's really important, right? Now, as especially we have many young brothers and sisters here, you are now on this really crucial point of your life. That's why Father's reminding us here. We need to really make our decision in accordance with God's will. Actually, whatever profession you want to do, right? you want to take, kahit ano pa yan, it doesn't matter. Most important is you really need to connect to Heavenly Parent. You want to become, like today, Jindu performed very wonderful song, and really, it's really good. Jundu is composing a lot of songs. Really, how happy Heavenly Parent and True Parents seeing our young brothers and sisters now, our second generation, really engaging with music. Our elder brother Hyojin Nim, right? He invested his entire life, really making, these inspiring songs that can inspire the world. So he expressed his filial heart through music, with his, mindset of, using this music to influence the world and really bringing young people closer to Heavenly Parent, closer to True Parents. That's why whatever talents we have now, so let's invest to our talents and let's really connect this to Heavenly Parent. How Heavenly Parent wants me to use these talents that I have. That's why whatever decisions we have, whatever talents we have, whatever we want to do, we have to always connect this, not only, centering on our human desire, humanistic point of view, but we have to connect this to God's point of view, right? This is really important. Not just, that's why we are living in the secular world and then still very strong secular influence. Sometimes if we are living, we have many friends outside, very easy to influence, and then we just stuck with our own humanistic point of view. And then we are already like separated with God's point of view. This is the danger. And then we just make decision on our own without also, reporting or asking our parents, connecting to our parents, right? For young brothers and sisters, second generation. And then, that's why we have to connect and really, really think about deeply what also Heavenly Parents wants, what is Heavenly Parents' desire. So whatever we want to do in our life, right? If we connect this to Heavenly Parents' will, then God will be with us, and then we can really accomplish greater things beyond our own self, beyond our own families. Aju? That's why Father also came to this point in his life. That's why he said, I was very serious during this time. That's why ngayon, many of our young brothers and sisters, our second generation, you are also in this point of your life. That's why Father said, we need to be serious, right? In this point, and then we need to consider, our decision in accordance with God's will. We shouldn't just, rely with our humanistic point of view, humanistic concerns, and really make decision because of this or centering on this. That's why we have to really connect. We need to ask guidance from our parents, from our elders, from our leaders. It's really, really important for our young brothers and sisters. Every day we are making decisions, but this is really very crucial at the point where you will be deciding what you really want to do for the rest of your life. Aju, this is really, really important. So True Father said, I chose a life filled with tears and sorrows. If I had not taken this path, surely I would be a powerful and respected man in some secular field. I would be recognized for my intelligence. I have the ability. I could have risen to leadership in my nation. Yet instead, I chose a life filled with tears and sorrows. Ever since I came to know God, I have shed tears for Him. Can you imagine the path that True Father have gone through? True Parents really have, really paid everything for us, really took all the burdens for us. So actually, Father said He has a choice also like us. Even though Father, they were anointed by God, but still Father has a choice. That's why before receiving True Father's mission, accepting, it took Him like 3 times at once. So Father really, at the point of really making the right decision at that moment. So Father said here, if I had not taken this path, surely I would be a powerful and respected man in some secular field. I would be recognized for my intelligence. I have the ability, I could have risen to leadership in my nation. Yet instead, I chose a life filled with tears and sorrows. Ever since I came to know God, I have shed tears for Him. So because Father started to, to understand about Heavenly Parent, when he started to know Heavenly Parent, so Father chose this path. Actually, even though Father said he can do, he can choose another path and then he can be powerful and respected man in some secular field. I would be recognized for my intelligence. We know very clearly how great our True Father is. And then he has the ability, he could be rise in leadership in his nation, Father saying, but he chose this path. Right? Actually, if we could see also, we have many leaders and elders. Actually, they are also, well equipped when they will going to pursue course in the society. Actually, they can really become, great people. But they have also chosen this path as our beloved true Father because of he wanted to really comfort Heavenly Parent. He wanted to comfort through Heavenly Parent and all, through bringing all people. This is the way to comfort Heavenly Parent, letting them know about Heavenly Parent. Aju, that's why we have to really consider seriously what we will do in our entire life with the situation of Heavenly Parent now, with the situation of true parents, especially our beloved true mother. That's why we shouldn't just decide on our own, just to fulfill our desire, right? Whatever ambitions we have, right? Whatever desires we have to always connect this to the situation of Heavenly Parent, to the situation of true parents. Now, true mother is calling us. So what can I do to help true mother with the talents I have, with the abilities that God given me? We are gifted, right? Our second generations are gifted. You are gifted. God gave you, our young brothers and sisters. God gave us something in us that is unique. So we have to use this not only for our own glory, not only for our family's glory, but we have to use this to liberate Heavenly Parent, to help Heavenly Parent, to help our beloved true mother fulfill her dream, right? Especially now in this era, in this time, in the second 7-year course of True Mother. What can I do? That's why Reverend Hori said before, 103 days. We have to think, we have to pray. What can I do during this time? What can my family do? What can our society, what can our nation do to really contribute greatly in the work of our true parents, in the work of our beloved true mother now? That's why we shouldn't just make decision based on our own desire, based on our own ambition, right? This is really important. This is really important. We have to consider Heavenly Parent situation, true parent situation, true mother situation. Father said, I have never nursed any personal ambition. Do you think I am not capable of avoiding persecution? Yet I endure and tolerate the persecution because I know God's situation. He has gone through far greater tribulations than mine. Do you think that when I was a young man, I did not have any personal dreams and ambitions? I certainly had great ambition and dreams. But once I decided to go this way, I cut them off. And ever since, I have never nursed any personal ambition. That is how I could become who I am today. That's why our beloved true Father, we cannot imagine actually, true Father, true Mother, they have dedicated their entire life for Heavenly Parent. But we cannot imagine what kind of level they have reached now. Many people now are saying, Reverend Moon and Mrs. Moon, they are the richest man on earth. That's why they are the greatest. How could they have all these things now? Well, they have focused and invested their entire life for God, liberating God, because they prioritize God, right? So Father said, once, he made determination, and then he cut off everything. He cut off, he decided, once he decided to go this way, I cut them off all his personal ambition, Father said, that he has before. Right? He cut them off everything. And then ever since, I have never nursed any personal ambition, Father said. That is how I could become who I am today. Just, focusing with Heavenly Parent. Really just fulfilling what Heavenly Parents desire. This is our true Father and true Mother. Right? They have invested everything. That's why we also, following true parents, I as the blessed central family. So what is my priority? Of course, I have also many plans, I have also many ambitions, I have also many desires, also for my children, what I wanted for them later on. But most importantly, more than all these things, we have to really prioritize God. We have to really prioritize Heavenly Parent, true parents, right? And then as we do all these things, all these dreams also and ambitions and desire we have, will surely follow, That's why today we can really learn from True Father as we are now in the, crucial point of our life, making decision, especially during this time, right? So that's why, even though actually we have, long cherished desire from before. Ito na yung gusto nating gawin. But, we have to always consider what is really the desire of Heavenly Parent, what really God wanted me to do. That's why it's really important, the priority, kailangan maintindihan natin yon. Not only our own personal desire, not only our personal ambition, right? But how we first prioritize God's desire and ambition for us. And then certainly, absolutely, also the desire of our heart will be accomplished. Kasi yun naman ang heart ni God, heart ni true parents. What is the heart of our Heavenly Parent? Whatever desire you have, whatever dream, kapag priority mo si God, for sure, your dream will be realized. Aju? So that's why this speech was given in 1997 by Father. Can you imagine really Father really sacrificed everything, our true parents? They have given their entire life for the sake of God's will. Really making Heavenly Parent the top priority. That's why, because of the sacrifices of true parents, now we are standing on this foundation. True parents couldn't even take care of their children because, prioritizing this, laying absolute foundation for us to stand now. But now we are living in this era where we have to really take care well of our children also, right? We have to really take care of our own ideal families also because of the foundations of true parents. But despite the enjoying these foundations that we have, is still in making decisions, we have to always make God top priority with the knowledge, with the abilities we have, with the, the blessing that we have received from true parents. We have to always connect this to the top priority. That's why in the moment making decision, what we want to do in our life, this is very crucial, sabi ni Father, right? That's why our young brothers and sisters, our second generation, whatever you wanted to achieve, or whatever is that, go ahead. No matter, it's important. You can do that. You just need to connect that to Heavenly Parents' will and desire, Aju, and then our true mother's dream and desire. Then let's really think, how can we help and contribute more to our beloved true parents, our true mother now, who is really sacrificing continuously at her age of 78 years old now. Our true mother, can you imagine how much she is spending her time? 24 hours. When we think about true mother, how many times do you think true mother is sleeping? Right? True mother is just really thinking of how to fulfill her promise to Heavenly Parent and to our beloved true Father. That's why in making decision in our life, we have to always consider what Heavenly Parents wants me to do. This is really important. So the guidance of our parents is really, really important, especially for the second generations, our elders, our leaders. So we have to consider this, right? God speaks through them. Sometimes you cannot, receive directly from Heavenly Parent. That's why it's really important this time of our life, what we really wanted to do for the rest of our life, especially for our young brothers and sisters. Aju? That's why really learning from true parents every day, we can be able to truly, really become sons and daughters who can truly bring joy and happiness to Heavenly Parent and true parents. That we can really make Heavenly Parent proud of us. Aju? That's why we are really, really grateful to our beloved true parents every day. They're really guiding us. So we can really, they wanted us to really become great people. This is the desire and dream of our Heavenly Parent and true parents. All of us are destined to become great people because we are sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent. But with the environment we are living in, we know Satan is always there, waiting for the right opportunity, right? To attack and to influence us, to destroy us. This is our situation. That's why we have to be very careful in every step of the way. That's why in all the decisions we are making in our life, we have to be very careful. We have to consider always Heavenly Parents' desire. We have to always consider this. And then we will always do the right thing. And then we will always, be on the right track. And then we can be victorious. We can be successful. Aju? So this is really the guidance today of our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Let's really do our best and really decide in accordance to Heavenly Parents' will and desire. Aju? So once again, thank you very much, brothers and sisters. May God's blessing always be upon you and your families. Kamsahamnida. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing with us the guidance for this day, for this morning. Now, at this point, we will be listening to some of reflections from our blessed children. So first off, I would like to call our very wonderful brother. He's also very passionate about culture and arts, and he's one of those brothers who looks out for younger blessed children in their region. So to give his reflection, may I call on our brother Charles Myongshin Gawaran. Let's give him a virtual applause.
Anyways, good morning, Heavenly Parents. Good morning, our national leader, Reverend Teo Angelo Halog. Good morning to our dear leaders, elders, brothers, sisters. Good morning. All right. So thank you so much for that wonderful guidance today, our national leader. Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause to our national leader. So anyways, today we have received a very wonderful message, which is entitled Decision. I'm very surprised, no, that every person make 34,000 decisions every day. And it seems like human beings are entitled for decision. Because of this message, I remember one quote from William Shakespeare. He once said, "Life is not a series of chances, but a series of choices." So life, in short, is a series of choices. We make decisions, we make choices every day, every moment, and every day. Because, human beings are in the middle position, like a midway position. That's why we are always at the crossroad of good and evil. So thinking about all this, how can we determine if things are good and evil? Right now, it's very clear, no, that we can determine if things are good and things are evil based on the motivation. What is the motivation? Why we make this? Why we make that? And based on that motivation, we can determine this action is good, this action is bad. Since the fall of our human ancestors, yeah, we were torn into two. We are torn in midway position. Like always, even in ourselves, in our society, there's always Cain and Abel. There's always bad and good. But human beings are not. What I've learned, no, human beings are not about learning through not only about learning through experiences. We learn through our standpoint. We learn through our difficulties. And even if there's lots of difficulties, we can always understand that we are always guided by Heavenly Parent and true parents. Being here is a decision also, right? All of you here came because of one decision that you want to join our Mornondoke. And me existing here is also a decision of my parents. And for all blessed children here, no, especially those are international couples, I have learned na it is based on our decision, how we can, and based on their decision, our parents' decision, our society's decision, our self-decision. Even if at the time, no, for example, our parents, what if our parents did not accept the calling of Heavenly Parents? What if others did not receive the call of our Heavenly Parents? Everything will be different, right? And we existed because of the decision of our Creator, God and true parents. That's why we have to take this decision as our own understanding and standpoint in which we can accomplish our mission and responsibility. In every day, we make our own decisions. And that's what makes us who we are. It's not about the reality we're living in. It's not about the things that always come in our way. It's about our decision, how we can get over all of this, and then how we can make things possible based on our parents. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much once again, our brother Shinshin, for sharing your reflection. So for the next person, may I call on one of our best children, second generation, who is studying in IPLC. May I call on our sister Joanne Kapakungan to share her reflection this morning. Is Sister Joanne here? It seems that she's no longer in the Zoom. Okay, but don't worry, we still have another one, another sister to share her reflection. She is also a student, former student of IPLC. She's now in Mindanao. Due to the pandemic, she's stuck there, I believe. So without further ado, please let's give a virtual applause to our sister, Miyong Mayo.
Yes, good morning, Heavenly Parents, true parents. Good morning, leaders, family members, my fellow blessed children, brothers and sisters. Good morning. Um, so, thank you so much for the inspiration, Sir L.A. So, my reflection from today's morning devotion really inspired me because I remembered, because I last 2019 during in December, like that time, my parents actually told me that there will be an youth camp, 40 days youth camp in Korea to perform in front of your mother during the foundation day. So at that time, I was really thinking if I should go or not because I wanted to focus on my studies because I was a graduating student in senior high that time. So I decided not to go. So yun. So the next day, my parents also gave me another opportunity to go to America to join the 7 days youth drive. So I was really not thinking what should I do because I also wanted to go to America, but to study, but I also want to focus on my studies. So I really prayed that night na if I should go or not. So yun. So I decided to go to America and be back na lang before the school started. But yun, so I didn't, but when I received my ticket going to America, I was very shocked because I will be staying in America pala for 2 months until February. So I'll also be going to Korea to join the foundation day. So I was really doubting, and I don't know why, but I felt like that this is really a big opportunity for me to go there. So yun. So because of that decision, I was very grateful for it because I had also experienced joining the ILTP America to do fundraising in America for 1 month. So yun, because of that decision, I was able to experience with God's heart, especially um, especially experiencing the persecution there because um, when they persecuted me, they also know about your father, and when they sorry, so when they persecuted me and they said something like very horrible things, especially to our true father. So it really made me sad. Oh, and I didn't cry, and I cried in front of them because it was my first time being treated like that. But I didn't feel sad for myself, but I really felt sad for them because they don't know what they are saying. So um, so yun. But it really helped. But because of those persecution, it really also helped me to grow spiritually, and yun. So I'm very grateful for that, and yun because from today's morning devotion, like especially the decision, our decision can affect our descendants and position. So I was also reminded that how important reporting is, especially reporting to our able, because they really also gave us the guidance on what path that we should take. And yun, since us human beings is standing in a midway position, so we should um, always reminded ourselves what is our purpose here, and what are we doing, who are we doing this for. So yun. So also about controlling our selfish desires. So actually, even for me, it's very hard to control our, especially my own desires. But also with the guidance of my parents, they really helped me to overcome it. So I'm also very grateful to my parents. So I think that is all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to our sister Miyong for sharing her experience and decisions in order for her to have those types of experiences. And nagbabalik po our sister Joanne, she's back. So I would like to grab this opportunity to ask her to share her reflection for this morning. So let's give a virtual applause for our sister Joanne. Sister Joanne Kabakungan.
Good morning. Good when I was young, and I'm making decisions every day. I always consider myself, not others. And I realized that when making decisions pala, it is very important to be careful in things when doing it. And right now, to be honest, I'm very confused with so in midway. And um hello. Sorry. I'm also in midway.
Hello, Sister
I
Joanne.
can say that also in midway on making decisions with my life and the seeking. And I'm very when I decide if he makes good. Hello. Hello.
It seems the connection is not so good. Can you hear us? Hello?
Yes po, I can hear you po. Hello?
Medyo choppy yung yung connection mo. Maybe you can turn off the camera na lang and just speak through your microphone. Yeah, thank you. Yes, please proceed.
Okay.
Please turn off na lang the camera. Okay, thank you.
Can you hear me po? Sorry po.
Yeah, a bit better now.
Yes, okay. Sorry about that. So, ano po? Where am I? I was very confused what to do with my life, and I can say I'm also in midway. And the downside of it that I seek answers on the things where I should not be seeking. And when I read the lecture that a fallen person will go to God's side if he make good condition and Satan's sides if he makes bad decision. I was really repentful for that because for so long I've been making bad decisions and bad conditions, and I always blame my environment. The thing that I realize right now that everything is advanced, and right now it is easier to make or to choose the bad decisions because who wanted because it gives pleasure, it gives a certain pleasure. And for example, as in the internet, and advancement makes us more vulnerable, especially now that we are living in an era that internet became part of our daily life. Ayun, so overall, the things that we are doing in our daily life is very important, and we should make the right decision and good condition wherein Satan cannot attack us. And right now, I have that certain determination to give back, help, and liberate heavenly parents, and to help our beloved true mother, and consider making decisions that involves God. Although I felt ashamed that I did not choose a path that contributes to God's providence, right now I have that certain determination and perseverance to also give back, to liberate them also. I think that would be all. Sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption po kasi my internet is not so good.
It's okay. Thank you so much, our sister Joanne, for sharing your reflection based centering on the guidance and your experience. Okay, so in this point of time, my dear brothers and sisters, to give us the final guidance for this morning, I am very honored to welcome this person to share his final guidance. I consider him as an elder brother figure. So let's all welcome Kuya Reverend Ronnie Sodusta.
Okay, good morning, Heavenly Parents and our victorious true parents. Good morning to our good ancestors in the spirit world. Kuya Sok. Good morning, NL, Dr. Kitel, Mama Teresia, and also good morning to Sir Julius po and our elders. This morning po, what I want to share siguro po, I do not know if we can consider it as final guidance. I felt that still I'm not worthy po to speak about the final guidance to each and every one of you, but more of like a reflection in my life as far as the topic of decisions is concerned. Yun po. So far today, we have learned once again na kailangan daw po natin magkaroon ng we have 34,000 decisions daily. And then as part of this one, the philosophy, yung kwento po that in each every one of us, there are two wolves, the bad wolf and also the good wolf. And then which one who will win the other? Sino raw po yung mas mananalo? Which one is stronger than the other? Then according to this anecdote, it's the one that you feed will be stronger than the other one. So if you feed more the bad wolf, then the bad wolf will become stronger and eventually win over than the good wolf. And vice versa, if you are going to feed yung good wolf in each and every one of us, then the good wolf will become stronger and eventually will overcome, will be victorious over the bad wolf. So ganun po. And then as I grow in our life of faith, as I grow in our church, I have learned that whenever we are into big decisions in our life, and then it seems like we are on two big walls, two big stones, ganun po, two big wall, and then we do not know which path we will choose. I was trained, I learned that if you are in this kind of situation, then you should choose the one that is closer to the principle, the one that will make you closer to heavenly parents and to true parents, and the one that you will less regret. So yun po. And as I look back in my life as far as this decision making or decision is concerned, nung nasa IPLC po ako, na-realize ko lang na ngayong nagre-reflect po ako, I was trained to trust my able, and as representative of God and true parents, I was trained to trust my able as representative of God and true parents to decide for my life. Yung sinasabi po nung kanta na God, Jesus takes the wheel, that in every part of my life, I offered everything to heavenly parents, to true parents as the first generation that they could decide, because they know more than my own self, they know what is better for me. They know what heavenly parents and true parents wants for me. So I was learned Yun po, habang nagpa-fundraising while we're doing witnessing and as I attend my study, I learned to trust, to always connect with my AVEL, to ask them for important decisions in my life. Pero alam nyo po, when I went to UPA, in the Universal Peace Academy, I was trained that I need to take responsibility for my development, for my own life of faith, and also for the life of faith of my spouse, for the life of faith of my future children, and the people who trust me with their life of faith. Yung mga tao po na lumalapit and nagtatanong what they should do with the big decisions in their life. It is in UPA po that I was trained. It is in UPA that I learned that I need to take responsibility for my life of faith. It is in UPA, they trained me that I really need to always constantly make good conditions, make conditions, indemnity conditions, positive condition to ask God and through parents about the big decisions in my life. For the people who know me, you know how hard even my blessing is, you know, that after 7 years of separation period, I come to a situation that I need to make big decisions po whether I will continue my blessing or not. Actually, without the training that I have received from IPLC, from my formula course, and then from UPA, the most easiest way to decide at that time is to really give up my blessing. But whenever I hear through parents teaching, whenever I could physically attend through parents while I was in UPA, and I learned na in myself po, I need to take responsibility about this blessing, that to grow this spouse that was God and true parents entrusted to me is the big decisions, is the big hyojong that I can offer to heaven. So ano po yung point? What is it that I would want to share to you through my reflection this morning? Life teaches me, my experience teaches me that learning to make decisions centering on divine principle, it takes a lot of training. Hindi po siya yung overnight na ma-acquire mo lang. It's not just an overnight that you will learn what is the will of heaven. You will harness the power of the spirit world po in making the big decisions in your life. And for me po, right now in my life, I realize that making a decision for your life, decision for your member, decision for your family, centering on heavenly parents and true parents is an act of filial piety. It's an act of hyojong. Yun po. When at that time po, when I decided that I will take responsibility to continue my blessing, at that time, hindi ko naintindihan what is the result of that one, or maybe if it is for heavenly parents and true parents. But you know what? With the blessings that I have received with my life right now, I could really feel that heavenly parents and true parents were so happy with my decision in continuing my blessing, with my decision po in staying in our church, with my decision to really continue in the mission. Actually, that's one thing po that I was telling in my members. Not all of the time we should become victim of the situation. That there are some point in our life that we really need to take responsibility to make decision to become closer to heavenly parents and true parents. In connection po with the guidance of our national leader today and yesterday, and also the reflections of our younger generations. When I was in New Zealand, I was told po, yung culture doon na, I do not know if this applies to us, when your children turns high school or adolescence, unintentionally po, kapag hindi na po natin na ibibigay yung gusto nila, or when we are not letting them decide for their life, they make us feel like we are the most bad person in the whole world. Like we are the most unskilled na pinakamasamang parents sa buong mundo. Yun po, unintentionally when they turn high school, when they turn adolescents, ganun po yung napaparamdam nila sa atin. And when I look back in my life of faith, you know po, my adolescence is not a easy one. My adolescence is full of tears, not just my own tears, but my tears of my physical parent, my mother po, who raised me up. Kaya sabi ko nga po talaga, loving your parents, taking responsibility, making a decision is a skill, and it is an act that we really need to train ourselves to be able to learn. And ngayon naman po, as I reflect, as a parent, God and true parents entrusted us with our second generations or with our third generations. We may be their physical parents, but naintindihan po natin, principle tells us that they are the children of heaven. They are the children of heavenly parents and true parents. Teaching them or training this young generation, this young second generation and third generation to eventually one day make a decisions for their life of faith, centering on heavenly parents and true parents. Once again, as a parent is a big hyojong po, is a big filial piety that we can offer to heaven, as I do realize this one. And yun po, if we are confident na kaya po nating ituro sa mga anak natin yung ganitong skill to decide, centering on heavenly parents and true parents, to always consider heavenly parents and true parents with big decisions in their life, then congratulations po. But if you are not confident to raise your children to become a children who is capable of listening to the voice of heavenly parents and true parents to be able to decide in their own life, then I'm suggesting po sana that if you can trust yung to guide them, to send them in the training, because they really need experience. And my training tells me that I really need to improve this decision making in myself to be able to decide and choose divine principle over the comfort of my life, to understand that my decision, whether humanistic viewpoint ba siya, is it a self-centered decision or is it a decision that can make God and true parents happy, that can make my physical parents happy? It requires training po. So yun po. Thank you so much, heavenly parents and true parents. NL, thank you so much po for giving us this precious guidance this morning. So once again, if I were to share this morning po based on the reflections in my life, along the way, we really need to know how to become responsible for our own life of faith. But it requires training to understand the heavenly parents and true parents and to guide us and to guide our children. So thank you so much for listening to this guidance, and I hope that we could become a parent, we could become a children who's be able to decide centering on heavenly parents and true parents and centering on the spirit world po. Whenever true parents proclaim sa mga official memo po, nalalaman natin that before true parents give us direction, they offer tremendous condition. They offer tremendous indemnity condition or positive conditions po. So I think we really need to learn this one po. And I learned it not in an easy way, but through tears for heaven accumulated through my training life. Thank you so much po and good morning. Sarangamnida.
Thank you so much to our Reverend Kuya Ronnie Sodusta. Yes, thank you so much for your words this morning. And thank you once again to our national leader for giving us the words of our heavenly parents and true parents this morning. So at this point of time, to give us our closing prayer, may I call on our brother Jusun Estose.
Brothers and sisters, please join me in my prayer. Good morning to you, our most beloved heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you so much, really, for everything. Thank you so much for all of the blessings that you have given us. We are truly very lucky and grateful to spend this morning with you, our heavenly parents and true parents, with our leaders, and with our brothers and sisters. Heavenly parents and true parents, I pray that we are able to really understand and really take into heart the message that you have given us for today. I pray that really, even though I pray that really we as your children, we are able to understand that even though Satan may be able to tempt us, may be able to attack us, we are able to really still understand that in the end, it is us who will decide if we will do good or bad. I pray that heavenly parents and true parents, in everything that we do, we will put you in our mind and heart. We will always think what will make you happy, heavenly parents and true parents. We will always ask if this is really the right decision, if this is really good for you, heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you so much really for everything, heavenly parents and true parents. I pray this in my name, Jason Joshua Estose, son of Reynaldo and Masako Estose, from the Central Best family, Aju.
Aju. Let us all offer our individual prayer. Yes, once again, thank you to all our brothers and sisters, elders, our national leader for sharing the guidance, to Sir Ronnie. Thank you so much to all brothers and sisters who participated in our morning devotion this morning. May you all have a very wonderful day, and may your decisions today be aligned to our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you. Have a nice day. Sarangamida.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Sir Ronnie.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Kuya Victor, Sir Ronnie, to all our
Thank you
leaders.
very
Thank
much
you, Ronnie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor Rabanyo.
Thank you to the second
Thank
generation.
you.
Sahamnida,
Thank
Victor.
you.
Kami sahamnida, Vice
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
President
second gen.
Ronnie Sudosta.